So I watched Captain America Brave New World yesterday, and before I get in my review for it, I need to give my history with the MCU, as well as ask for help from Marvel fans. Here's the movies I have seen in the MCU. Yeah, I've been checked out for a very long time. During the peak of the MCU, I was a double college major and raising a child, so I just couldn't commit the time to watching all of it. But now that I have this channel, have the AMC A-list where I see 3 movies per week, and would love nothing more than to counter everything that this poser has to say, I wanted to start a new series on this channel where I review all the Marvel films from the very beginning. If you'd like that or would like to offer advice on how to approach this daunting task, then I welcome any help that can be provided. I'm temporarily calling it Marvel Mania. Captain America Brave New World, I guess, is getting mixed to negative reviews, but I didn't have that experience when I saw it. I did have issues with it, but overall, I had a pretty decent time watching it. Here's what I gathered from watching this film, as well as the knowledge through osmosis that I have obtained over the years. There's just no way that I caught all the references in this movie because, as you see, I basically checked out after phase 1 and have a lot of work ahead of me to catch up, so please be patient with me. I know that this is the first movie to star Sam Wilson as Captain America, and he does a good job in the role. I like his charisma, his sincerity, and how the film shows him conflicted that he did not take the serum thingy that Steve Rogers took. I think Anthony Mackie did a nice job at being an inviting presence for someone who's basically a noob like I am. I am not very familiar with this new Falcon, Joaquin Torres, played by Danny Ramirez. He's supposed to be the comic relief of the movie for parts of it that he is in, and he definitely has the sidekick aura about him. I didn't think he added much to this story except to be the tech guy. How is he able to hack secure files so easily? If the answer is that it is explained in the Disney Plus show, then I guess I'll add that to the list as well, though I would prefer just to stick with the films if I can. Harrison Ford plays President Thunderbolt Ross. Hasn't this character been played by many actors over the course of the MCU's history? I could have sworn he has, but to be honest with you, this character and his arc was the entire driving force for me being entertained in this movie. I like how he is attempting to be reformed for all the horrible things he did, though I am unsure of what all those horrible things are of as of now. But I'm able to use my imagination enough to see that he is impulsive, has some serious aggression issues, yet seems sincere about wanting to mend fences with his daughter, Betsy Ross, who I do know from the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008. I was able to follow Thunderbolt's entire arc without ever being confused, except for maybe some stuff surrounding the villain, but to avoid spoilers, I won't say what it is. I do not understand why the promotional material for this movie advertises the Red Hulk so much. It seems like that would have been a great thing to say for a surprise for people. But yes, Red Hulk is in this movie, and I won't spoil anything surrounding it, except to say that the sequences with him were mostly pretty fun. Unfortunately, I do have some issues with this movie. Start with some of the music that mixes into the speakers during dialogue scenes drown out what people are saying. I don't think it was my theater, it just seemed like they had the volume for some of the music turned up too high when I should have been listening to what the characters were saying. I think one of the biggest issues I have start with the cringe-inducing fight sequences in the indoor areas. They are poorly choreographed and not staged well at all. Sometimes the camera is so up close you can't really see what is happening, except seeing people moving around a bunch. And sometimes they're weirdly lit, so I didn't know what was really happening. The editing in these scenes is really weird to me. Giancarlo Esposito is also in this movie, and he was a pointless character in my opinion. He's nothing more than a false MacGuffin that is occasionally used for plot exposition and some random action sequences. The big action sequences in the movie are mostly pretty good though. Yes, there's a lot of obvious CGI in them, but that's just to be expected with most modern superhero films, so I've just come to accept it. There weren't very many that made me groan at how badly they looked like I felt when I saw Kraven the Hunter, so I was able to get into the fun of the action mostly because how fast-paced the outdoor sequences were. They were fun. Yes, you know that there isn't really any true peril for our heroes in movies like this, but as long as the action is pretty good, then I'm willing to go with it. The thing that bothered me the most, though, is that I just think the performance for the character Ruth is really bad in this movie. I don't know if it's the fault of the script or the way the actress was directed, but she felt like a charisma vacuum to me. She had no charm to her, and she delivered all of her lines in a way that I could best describe as flatter than a plate full of urine. It's a fight scene in a hallway, and that was one of the biggest things I disliked the most. I really don't think that this movie is as bad as the critics are saying that it is, but maybe that's because I'm something like 25 movies behind in this universe, so maybe this is a weak entry in the series, but since I don't have that reference point, I did have fun with it. The arc of Harrison Ford's character, the final fight scenes, and Anthony Mackie being fun to watch made this movie enjoyable for me. I approached it as an action film, and as one of those, it did its job very well. Do I think it's the best MCU film I've seen? Good God, no. But that doesn't make it bad. It's a conveyor belt movie in many ways, and some of the writing left me scratching my head. But the arc of the Red Hulk stuff and the things I already mentioned helped me enjoy this movie. I hope to begin this journey through the MCU as a noob in the very near future because it sounds so fun to do. I can't promise that I'll like all the films, but unlike a lot of the critics on this platform who have dumped on these movies for reasons outside of the films themselves, I will only ever grade them as art pieces and forms of entertainment. I have no agenda here and never will because I just want to watch movies and have a great time. I hope people join me on this adventure, and once I am caught up, maybe I will re-review this movie. I apologize if I didn't give much of a plot analysis for this film, but I don't want to sound completely uneducated, even though I obviously am. And I definitely don't want to spoil this movie for people. Anyway, I slightly liked Captain America Brave New World, and while morons like this guy are going to rip it to shreds, I'm sure, I am way more open-minded than those people are. So I hope you take this trip with me down MCU lane. I give Captain America Brave New World a marginal 3 stars out of 4. I don't know if it's a good MCU movie, but I did enjoy it as a popcorn action movie. I'm sorry if I didn't catch any of the Easter eggs or fan service stuff. I have a lot of work to do in that field, I guess. Thanks so much for watching, though. What did everyone else think of Captain America? Based on the few things I've read, probably not very good things, but I want to know. Anyway, I also review many new films, horror films, silent films, and much more. So if you like this, please like and subscribe. Here's links to some of my other videos. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.